2, 1. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, I see Andrea. Hello, Miss Dawn. How are you? This is Suzanne Hart. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to be here. I am back from Dominican Republic and had a fantastic time at the Fit, Fab and Fulfilled retreat. It was extraordinary. The truth be told, I didn't want to come home. I could have hung out on the beach a little longer. So today we're going to be talking about a little bit about the Fit, Fab and Fulfilled retreat, what happened. And I have one of our attendees, one of my guests with me, and we're going to be talking about the 7 mindset mastery principles that we spoke about at the retreat, and how people, as they're coming away from the retreat, are beginning to use them. So I know I have a number of sisters that are up in the morning now, working out, doing their meditation, planning their day, doing their goal setting, and starting their day with a bang. I know Sharia was talking to me and she says, I've been doing my routine. So very exciting. So just giving a moment for people to join. I see Tria going, hello, Suzanne and Mary. Hello, Miss Taylor Morgan, how are you? So we've got, I see Fazia, welcome Fazia. So before we get started and I introduce my extraordinary guests, I'm gonna say that we're gonna be talking about Fit, Fab, and Fulfill, which is, getting fit, feeling and finding your fabulous, and living a deeply fulfilled life. And this is really about having it all. This is about creating a life where your business, your relationships, and everything that's important to you sits on a foundation called health. To me, it's about having it all. It is about just truly being and feeling extraordinary, doing the things that you love. And so I see Sheila Fraser. Hello, how are you? Welcome. This is a conversation that anyone will benefit from. So this might be someone who's that overproducing super mom, super entrepreneur, super businessman. They are juggling many things at a time, and you're thinking, ooh, this might be a conversation for them because maybe they've neglected themselves, they've neglected their health because they're in pursuit of extraordinary things and they're up to big things. This is a conversation for them. And so please do share the link, invite people to come. And even in the middle of it, you might think of somebody and think, oh my gosh, they've got to have this conversation. Feel free to share. So the first thing I'm going to ask everybody before I introduce, doesn't she look beautiful? She got that Caribbean glow, right? My sister here with that gorgeous turquoise background. I happen to be on the road, so my background smells extraordinary. Right, I am traveling, and that's kind of how I do.
Yeah.
So if you know of anybody who you think this is benefit, feel free to share. But before I start, I want to ask everybody, when you hear Fit, Fab, and Fulfilled, what comes up for you? Just write in the comments section. What comes up to you? What does that make you feel like? What do you think of? And then I'll introduce my guest and I'll ask her, what does Fit, Fab, and Fulfill mean to her, and why she accompanied me and some other extraordinary people on the retreat. So I just want to hear your thoughts. What does that mean for you? Fit, Fab, and Fulfilled. Mm-hmm. And see if anybody's brave enough to give me a comment. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to just get these comments rolling. So while everyone's thinking, wholeness, I love that, Taylor. Wholeness, yeah. that is such a great word. So for Taylor, Fit, Fab, and Fulfilled means wholeness. Who else can give me a word? I'm just waiting for the comments to come in. I know for me, fulfilled is it's abundance. It's living a life from an abundant and peaceful place. I got from Sheila Fraser, she goes, whole life in prosperity. I love
Oh,
it. Like I feel
go
the
ahead.
concept of being whole and complete and really thinking that you can have it all. Grace Marie Jones is saying, healthy enough to live and enjoy life. Isn't that amazing? And I
Yes.
think it really is about really taking time to enjoy the journey, stop and smell the roses, live in the moment, and not just be caught up in the goal, but actually really, I say that success occurs in the journey. Awesome. Fazia says wellness in all areas of their lives. I love these comments. I think these are really great. Oh, I got another one. Yes, being to live life of your design. Live life by design, not by default. I like that. That is really good. That sounds like a Suzanneism. I love it. So I have sitting here with me a beautiful sister. She was one of the group that accompanied me to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, and enjoyed the sand, the sun, the sea, the exquisite food, the resort in and of itself, the suite, the jacuzzi on your balcony, the meditations in the morning, the walks on the beach, the watching the sun come up. It was an extraordinary time. So, Mary is a retired military nurse. This is a woman that has back and has served her country. She has a commitment to not only health, but wealth. And I think that's why we have such a synergy. She understands that you can't fully be free unless you have those two things in place. She's big into oils. I know Andrea, who's listening and watching, that's something that you're big into those essential oils. She's big into nutrition. She's big into just making sure that each of us has a full and abundant, healthy life. But I think the thing I really love about Mary is her commitment to serve. Right, Mary? I mean, you served your country, you've served your community, and now you're serving on that one-to-one basis and really making sure that people get really committed to their lives and being of service to themselves. And so I really, really admire that. So I want to introduce Miss Mary Brookins, hailing from now Florida and sporting her glow.
Thank you for the introduction, my beautiful, fabulously fit sister. Woo! It is amazing. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for creating the space, Suzanne. And that's what I feel that you did the whole week of the retreat in Punta Cana. You created the space for us.
And you know, I know the physical space was really easy because the environment was spectacular. But we're also talking about that emotional space and that spiritual space, right? And the coming together of individuals who are willing to just have I call it a juicy conversation where we got to share and talk and explore and at moments cry and then have great laughter and then hold each other accountable and hold each other capable and be a stand for each other. So it was just a great time. Mary, first of all, what does Fit, Fab, and Fulfilled mean to you, and what pulled you to come to the retreat?
Ooh. What pulled me to come was self-love. I've been working on me for a while. And just a little side note, what I received from Kathy, that this is the year of Kathy, I had to borrow that from her. So this is the year of Mary. So it was so powerful, the self-love. That needed to happen. With life issues, ups and downs, grieving, losses in the family, whatever situation or circumstances that are happening in your life, you need to take some time for that self-love. So the self-love part for me, taking time to love on me, to build up my inner man, to help me find my peace and cultivate my peace, that's part of what drew me to the retreat.
And when you say self-love, talk a little bit about what the experience of that is, because I know for many people, when you talk to them, they'll say, I have self-love, I love myself, and then I observe them, and I would say, maybe not so much. Right? So what does self-love look like in action? What was it that you were looking for in terms of behavior?
For myself, I needed to give others some grace. So that was powerful for me. I needed to forgive some people. I needed to forgive myself. So that's self-love, because when you're harboring all those feelings of unforgiveness, that creates dis-ease, and that's not good for you in any form at all. So I needed to give some people some grace. I needed to forgive some people, forgive myself. I needed to discover some self-awareness, some more self-knowledge about who I am. And it was an inner work. People go, well, how did you enjoy your vacation? I said, it was a workcation. It was a workcation. I said, Suzanne worked us. I said, we did some work. It just happened to be in a beautiful location that looked like paradise, but we were working. And so that's self-love. That's just part of self-love to me, is that I love me for who I am and for who I'm not at this point, and also for who I'm becoming. Yes.
Right. And that was a big thing, right? I love me for who I am and who I'm not and who I'm in the process of becoming. Yes. And so when you're talking about, you talked about being able to give yourself grace and mercy and forgiveness, and being able to give others grace and mercy and forgiveness. And one of the principles that we talked about was this whole principle of acceptance, right? And to sit in acceptance is, as you said, to love you for who you are and who you're not, and to love others for who they are and who they're not, and really giving up that need to control who we desire people to be, and often who we desire ourselves to be. And there's a difference between who I desire myself to be that's forced versus who I'm growing into.
Right.
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 So for you, it was really just a journey of acceptance. And what happens when you accept? What did you notice as you sat in acceptance of stuff and people and yourself?
Ooh, I noticed my values. That was an exercise that you had us do. We all know what our values are. And so to write them down and to bump that up against relationships, against people that you work with, associates, family, friends, business associates, accepting people for who they are, accepting my values, and it had to line up. So that was a big takeaway for me, is that if I knew then what I know now, there are some relationships I wouldn't be in today. So it would have saved me a lot of time, energy, hurt, and pain if I was committed to those values. I was only committed to some of them, but what I got out of that retreat is that I need to be fully committed and accept all my values and ensure that people that are in my life, they have to align with those values as well.
And it's so interesting, because we're talking about acceptance, and then we're talking about the principles and values that guide you, right? I call it your GPS, and it's like your GPS in your car, right? And when you're off, and oftentimes when we're not in acceptance, it's because we're trying to force someone to be in alignment with our values when they're naturally not.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it's so interesting, because I think one of the common things that we started talking about is we get wowed by people's skills, we get wowed by people's personalities, we get wowed by what people have achieved, we get wowed by their charisma, and it's like, oh my gosh, I love this person, until you spend time, and then values and beliefs begin to emerge, and oftentimes we're confronted with, yes, this person wows me and whatever, but we're not aligned in values.
Mm.
And then oftentimes, I know in the past, I have attempted to force it.
Mm.
And control the other person so that they look and be in alignment with my values. And we know it doesn't work.
Right. It doesn't work. No.
And Mary, did you, for me, what I realized was how unokay that was, and how I was imposing me on someone else and attempting to control them, and really not freely accepting them for who they are. Right.
Right.
And for me, when I began to let that go, the word that came up at the retreat was surrender. How did it to sit in acceptance and surrender and really go, okay, we're not aligned. Right? We're just not aligned.
That was freedom. That was part of the freedom. Wow. You know, to take just a deep breath, inhale and an exhale. That okay. That's part of the freedom. The acceptance is that, can you accept this person wholeheartedly for who they are? And if you can't, then make a wise decision. Make a wise decision and don't enter into that relationship intimately. You know, there are some relationships that you can enter into when people don't completely align with your values, but you can't enter into an intimate relationship or even a work relationship, where you're going to be with someone 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, or 24 hours a day, unless they totally line up with your morals and values. And from that point on, that's something that I've learned. I ask my clients that now. Once they fill out their assessment, whether it be their financial needs assessment or their health assessment, please write down at least 8 of your values, things that you value. And so I'm aligning and working with people who value the same things that I value. That was huge for me. That was huge for me.
And it's liberating, isn't it? And you know, one of the things that oftentimes when people come to the retreat, we come wound up with our own stressors, right?
Right.
And I remember you said when you arrived, oh, what were the words you used? You said, I needed this, oh, I can't remember.
I remember.
I
remember. As the plane was landing into Punta Cana, what downloaded in my spirit was that my soul needed this retreat. Was that it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when I hear that, I hear a wrestling. I hear a not being at peace. I hear a sense of maybe a tiredness and a little, you know when we feel like we're just off, right? And under that, there's all these stressors. And I think one of the things that you soon realize is stressors are really us wrestling and not accepting things that we don't have control over, right? And sometimes it's people, right?
Right.
Control someone who, I can't control anybody. Sometimes it's events. I'm attempting to control the outcome of an event versus allowing it to unfold and choosing how I'm going to be in it rather than trying to control. And I think one of the things when you're talking about acceptance and aligning your values, it really makes surrender easy. I know for me, because if things don't align, I'm like, it wasn't meant for me. We're not in alignment.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's people, sometimes that's things. But also when I give up attempting to control something, the energy that's available to me, the peace that becomes available, mind-boggling.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So one of the themes for the retreat was the power of play. and so we went out and played. We went out and we did some ATVing. And I know Cindy's watching. My girl had some breakthroughs on her 18th.
Yes, you did.
We went out and we played.
Yes.
What did play do for you in terms of looking at your life?
Ooh. Ooh. You know, the little girl that's inside or the little boy that's inside is always screaming to get out. And we keep our thumb on that person because we're
Mm.
adults, we're grown-ups, and we
We
live in
grow.
this grown-up world, right? And so there are things that we need to do to grow up. But us, we need to allow ourselves time to have fun, enjoy life. It gives me more energy. The ATV, I thank you for that fun that we had. The ATV took me back to my childhood. It took me back to my brothers. My youngest sister was too young to play with me. So I'm the oldest of four. So my brothers were the ones that I had to play with. And we lost my youngest brother a couple of years ago, and we miss him terribly. The ATV was so tomboyishy to me, and I was a tomboy growing up. It took me back to my brothers. It took me back to the building ramps and jumping by with our bicycles jumping ramps, playing in the woods, swinging from the vines and the trees, and it was such a good memory. It was such a good memory. And so I appreciate that. You creating that space, not just the physical space, but it created an emotional space for
Ah,
me.
talk a
And
little.
it helped with healing. Yeah. Oh, talk a little bit about the emotional space.
Yeah, yeah.
It helped with the healing process. Oh, there's so many of us, we grieve a long time. And and I think that we prolong our healing when we've lost a loved one because of the emotion. We're not channeling. I think channeling it
Mhm,
correctly. Think of all the good times, the good memories, and that's what we tend to do when we gather together. My family and I, we tend to talk about all the fun, all the laughter that we had, and that emotional space on the
mhm.
ATV was so much fun. Fresh air, the bumping, the potholes, um, the fun of being with friends, new friends that you just made, just having fun, being free, just like a kid, like a big kid. So that emotional space was very refreshing for me, very energetic.
And did you notice that as we played, how did it let me frame it into a question. How did it translate into your day? How did you see it translating into your business? How did you see it
Mhm.
translating the power of play in terms of that emotional energy?
Wow. Wow. In terms of my day, I was light the rest of the day. I was very light-hearted, very light. I felt lighter. It's as if the weight had fallen off, like I had just left it out there on the road, you know. In terms of my business, there are times to be serious. You have to do the things that you have to do, but there's also times that you need to take your associates, your employees, and you just need to have fun. You need to express that energy. You need to release that energy. You need to allow other people the opportunity to enjoy you in a totally different realm
Mm.
besides the workplace. Create pockets and blocks of fun and play.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of the things that we noticed with Cindy particularly, but with everyone, is that when we play, we risk more, right? Did you know
Yes. Yes. Yes.
we risk more? There was people jumping off rocks into caves of water. I'm like, "Well, maybe not. I don't know." But we tend to risk more, and
Yes.
and I think what's beautiful about play is most of us tend to live life compressed and
Mm,
conservative and
mm,
and and safe, and
mm.
children truly play.
Yes.
And I think the more we play, the more we get that expanded energy. We get that, I can take on the world energy back.
Mm,
Oh my goodness, I feel larger than life kind of
mm,
energy, and it moves into other spaces and places in our life, right? Which is where you were walking through the day like, ooh, I can take on the world today. Bring it on.
yes. Absolutely.
Um, I want to talk about connection and connection between your mind and your body, because that's the big pieces in the retreat. And so I'm gonna, without you giving away the exercise, I'm gonna ask you to go back to the mirror exercise
Mm,
one, and also the all we were, so for those of you, of course, who weren't there, we worked out every morning. So we were up at 6 and we did meditation. Thank you, Alethea. And we worked out every morning. And then people went off and had some quiet time. And then we met again for our first session. And so we talked about flexibility. We talked about cardio. We talked about endurance. How did you see the connection between your mind and your body as you worked out? Like when we talked about the connection between stretching and the flexibility of your mind, in terms of weight training and being grounded, in terms of core and being solid. How did those things translate for you, and how did that new connection work for you?
the mind over body. It's always been so. And you don't realize that until you start doing weight training without weights. And it's amazing how, when you think about the exercise that you're doing, how your muscles contract. It's just powerful to me how your mind can stimulate your body to do certain things and you get great results from
Mhm.
that. The the mind body connection, the mirror technique is always powerful. It's always powerful. And I read years ago that the most important voice is what you say when you're talking to yourself. And 70% of what you believe is what you say to yourself. So the mirror was so profound to me, because the first thing you do when you've not done that mirror exercise before is that you think of all the negative things that you see in the mirror, and that's not what it was about at all. It was so powerful. I'm still doing it. Yay! And it's exciting, and I'm getting more and more comfortable with who I am and with who God created me to be. And I think it's comfort. Oh my gosh. You know, you would glance at yourself as you went by, but you just didn't stare at yourself and speak all these positive things into you. You know, you're looking into the souls of your eyes, and you're connecting. It's like, wow, I need to connect to you. That's the inner work. That's the inner work. Is connecting with yourself and understanding that your mind and your body are connected. It's not disconnected, but we walk through life disconnected.
Yes.
And yes, we walk through life out of alignment, out of harmony, which creates stress and dis-ease. But when
Mhm.
we are connected and when we are aware of what's going on, and I say this to my clients often, and I think that this rings true here, is to listen to your body when it starts to whisper to you, the little aches and the little pains,
Mm.
before it starts screaming at you. Okay, when you're so sick that you have to go to the doctor and now you're in the hospital and you have to have surgeries or whatever, start listening. That was a great connection with the mind and the bodies, that we're so busy today that we're not listening to our
Yeah.
bodies.
And I love the fact that you brought up, and for those who are listening and who weren't there, we actually did weight training with no weights. And what was interesting was everybody felt like they were lifting weights.
Yes.
And it was really visualizing the weights, feeling the weights, moving your body like you had weights. And people were like, ooh, this is tired. And the whole thing that was really wanting people to get everyone to get connected to, is that when your mind is tired, your body often takes over, right? And when your body's tired, your mind kicks in. And oftentimes we don't understand the power that runs and the energy that connects the two, and how much powerful we are when we are connected, right? When we are grounded, when we're listening, when there is that mind-body connection, and we're totally listening. And so part of the piece that we did every day was we moved our bodies, and we got reconnected to our bodies every morning, right? Whether that be vision, whether that be the meditation, whether that be the stretching, the weight workout without weights, the core workout. Everything was just to get you back reconnected and aware, so that you know where your power is. Your power lives here, and your power lives here, and what happens when they are perfectly aligned. So relaxation, right? So a big part of the purpose of the retreat, and you said it when you arrived, was I needed this time for me. Relaxation. So we did a lot of kickback time. We were out on the boat, on the water, just kicking back, listening to tunes and having fun. The spa day. Talk a little bit about what the power of just resting, relaxing, letting go of devices, and just what did you notice happening for you, and how did that allow you to come back to business?
On the water, the yacht. So much fun. So much fun. The exercise, very energetic, energizing. I felt like I burned a lot of fat that day. But when you got the chance to just sit there and look at the open waters, that stimulated my visualization. I tell you, that was a perfect opportunity to visualize your dreams, your goals, where you want to be, your desires. It was so much freedom. It's like nothing is holding me back. I felt limitless being on that boat in the open water. It was so much freedom, and it allowed me to dream and to see and to think and to plan. It was very refreshing, very refreshing. The spa day, the hydrotherapy was so powerful. Still water, detoxing. Oh my gosh. Detoxing, letting go, dropping weight, dropping sickness, illness, dis-ease, discomfort. That was extremely relaxing. Also visualization. Also, I had got to a point in the hydrotherapy treatment that I was so relaxed. If I had fallen asleep, then I would have been, bubbling water. But I had to. It was so relaxing that I could actually dream and visualize my future, what I wanted my future to be like. And I take that into business. Is that what do you want your business to look like? What do you want your health to look like? What do you want your body to look like? What do you want your relationships to look like? So those two opportunities allowed me to see the future, to see what I wanted things to look like. I was not looking at what they look like today and what they look like now. I was actually projecting and dreaming and drawing new blueprints and new GPSs of what I wanted everything associated with me to look like. So they were wonderful.
I love that you're saying that. I remember when I first started on my journey in network marketing, and oftentimes people say we are 24/7. We go, 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 go. And then one of my mentors talked about the importance of taking time away, right? And
Mm-hmm.
just shutting down. And I was like, and part of me was like, but I'm gonna miss something. So I'm like, oh, there might be an opportunity. Like I was like that. And what they explained to me was that was a very scarcity mindset, a mindset
Mm.
built in. There's not enough. It was like if it was just such a scarcity mindset. And when I start taking time away, just like you're talking about, whether that be vacations, but at least on one day where I didn't pick up my phone for business, I didn't turn on my computer, I read, I relaxed, I went for walks. And when I started taking time away, what was interesting was when I came back, I was so refreshed, so productive,
Mm.
so energized. And like you, I had downloaded so much new information that I was taking into my day. And I remember after that reading, I think it was Mark Victor Hansen who says that it was Mark Victor Hansen and oh, I can't think of the other person, but they say they take think times,
Mm.
right? And they spend a day a week where they just think. They just sit and they relax and they kick back and they think. And invariably, great ideas, great visions, great things come back. And that's what was available as we sat looking at the water, as you sat
Yeah.
in hydrotherapy, just bubbling on, under those waters. And I think, as Tria says, that, we underestimate the power of rest, right?
Yes.
We
Yes.
underestimate the power of detaching. I know
Mm.
Robin Sharma, who's one of my favorite authors, he talks about the time in the day where you turn off all your electronics, and so I don't, mine is from 5 till about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I don't touch my electronics. And it's such a peaceful time. And it's such a time where I get to rejuvenate myself. And so it's really cool to see you just experiencing that and talking about that. I'm just gonna check the comments. Tria's like, it's so me. Oh, the yacht.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right. Pauline says it was so profound. Pauline was also with us.
Yay. Hi, Pauline.
She was your roommate. She
She was
was your
my
roommate.
roommate. Hi, Pauline.
One of the people said fit, fab, and fulfill means feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
Very good. Mary, as we close, and you've experienced a week away,
Mm.
to nourish your soul,
Wow.
to get reconnected, mind, body.
Yeah.
You kind of understand the power of play. Oh, I can't end the interview without talking about. So the other theme that we had was beautiful,
Oh, wow. Oh my
right?
goodness. Yes.
And so we had a whole discussion about
Mm.
the beauty of each and every individual, and
Mm.
that, as the years roll by, really understanding that beauty doesn't fade, it actually becomes more profound.
Wow.
Talk a little bit about what that conversation did for you as a woman, as as someone who we all know the years are advancing, but at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, what did that conversation do for you in terms of your self-acceptance, your self-love, your self-respect, and the importance of caring for self?
Wow. That was so deep. You wouldn't think that such a simple exercise would go so deep. You went really deep with us because so many of us don't say that we're brilliant. We we don't say that we're beautiful. We know that we're cute. But when people pour into you, people you just met a few days ago, so they have checked you out, they've checked your character, they're watching you, they're observing you, and they see that you're a caring person, that you're a faithful person, that you're spiritual, that you're beautiful inside and out. And that's one of the things that I liked about that exercise, is that it helped me to know how beautiful I am inside. And even though you have folks that were good looking, like the young man that was there, I had to share with him that it was his brain, that was just so beautiful, that was
Mhm.
so beautiful about him. His conviction, how he cared, how he moved within all of us, and how he shared with all of us. People are glowing, and so everyone was glowing at the retreat. So we were putting our best forward, but also we were going deep and getting rid of some ugly stuff. But that exercise allowed me to know to stand up taller,
Mhm. Mhm.
to stand a little bit taller, to know who your ancestors were, uh, to walk in the king and the queenology, to know that you're going to leave a legacy,
Mhm.
for your children and your grandchildren. That was very profound. And so you take that back with you, and it shows in every area of your life.
Absolutely.
That
Tria's
exercise.
like, Mary must be talking about Brent Simpson. Yeah, she talking about Brent. But this
I don't want to say his name, but yeah.
but this is the beautiful thing about this conversation. This conversation is so vital because we live in a day and age where people think that the exterior is what holds people, right?
Right, right.
And I liken it to I love art, and if you go to my house, I have art all over the place, and there's paintings that I've collected from different parts of the world. But truth be told, I'm in awe of it when I first put it up on my wall.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, I pass it.
Mm.
And is it still really gorgeous? Absolutely. But that painting, until I start looking at it and spending time with it, the character of it doesn't pop out automatically. And what I mean by that is that there are pretty people everywhere. And
Right.
notice the language I'm using. There are pretty people everywhere. But pretty, if there isn't inner stuff to accompany it,
Mm,
fades, fades.
mm,
And then there are people who you may say, they're average or whatever, however we classify that. I don't really like doing that. But then as we get to know their character, their essence, their laughter, their
mm.
joy, who they are as
Yeah.
an individual, all the things that they have grown through, they become rich and they become
Oh,
beautiful.
yes.
Mhm. And
Yes, they do. Absolutely. Absolutely.
of that conversation was for us to really begin to realize that beauty is like wine. It gets better over time if cared for, right? And
True.
when I'm
Right.
talking about care for, I'm talking about caring for yourself physically in terms of loving on yourself, but it's also caring for yourself in terms of just growing and releasing, as you said, giving yourself grace and mercy, learning to forgive, learning to accept, not walking with negative energy, learning to let go, all those things, and allowing life to make you more rich than to beat you down. So when we talk about beauty, the people that we really find beautiful are people who have become rich as life
Mm,
has shaped them,
mm,
and to realize that beauty doesn't fade.
mm-mm.
Oh, it does.
Oh, yeah, that was great. That was great. It just got better. You just got more beautiful.
You
And
do.
it just got richer, and people can see that, and they want that, and they want to, what is it that you have? I want whatever it is that you got. It's a
Mm-hmm.
mindset. We
It's
talked about mindset the whole week.
and it's a mindset built into self-care, self-love, self-respect. It's built in lifelong learning. It's built within the willingness to overcome. It's built in the willingness to find solutions. It's built in acceptance. It's built in our core values and being in line with our values. That energy and that thing we're calling beauty is built in our willingness to be better people, right? And
Amen.
and when you walk in that space energetically, it's felt. And it doesn't matter if you're caring for here, yeah, we're gonna get great, things are gonna happen, but the essence that I call beautiful will always shine through, right?
Absolutely.
All within our own grasp. It's who we choose to be.
Absolutely. Can you still hear me even though I'm frozen?
I can still hear you, honey.
Okay.
Mary,
Okay.
Mary Hun, what my last question and is what's next for you?
Wow. What's next for me?
Yeah, coming out
In,
of
in terms of the business is growing expeditiously. Like you stated, all that energy coming back, the clarity coming back, I'm more focused now since the retreat, and so the business is moving, which is what you want to do. You want to take action, so it's taking more action since the retreat. That's what's ahead of me, moving toward the goals and the targets that I've set for myself, empowering others to do the same.
ah,
Because part of my business is that I'm a wealth and a health strategist. So people need to be empowered to do better with their money. Uh, and they also need to be empowered to promote better health.
fantastic. So Mary, as you leave, as you know, as we part and we bring this interview to an end, tell people what's the name of your business, where they can connect with you, and if they want to learn more about your take on the retreat, all those different things, share with them a little bit about how they can find you and what exactly you do, and yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm a wealth strategist, meaning that I educate people on how money works. You can find me on my website, www.talk number 2 thestrategist.com, and you will find some videotapes. And it's talking about wealth and money and the rule of 72 and your 401ks, all those things that you need to know that your banker hasn't told you about. And also, I'm a health strategist. I'm an educator. So I love educating people on how to live a healthier, better life. So you can also see videos on strokes, heart disease when you go to the website. The essential oil piece that Suzanne mentioned. I'm a wellness advocate. I'm an advocate for wellness all the way around. So that website is mydoterra.com/talk to the strategist. So please go visit those websites. Call me. I'm an author, my first book. So I'm excited about that. And that's on Amazon, 5 Steps to an Electric Prayer Life. And I've gotten rave reviews from all the beautiful people at the retreat. So I'm excited about that. That's new down the pike. And more books to come. More books to come. Speaking engagements in the horizons. God told me that I was an anointed oracle of God. So, speaking on any of these topics, health and wealth, please give me a shout out, reach out to me. My email address is Brookins Mary, last name, first name, Brookins, Mary at yahoo.com. And that's about it. That kind of wraps it up.
All right. So we've been speaking with Mary and Brookins. Mary hails from Florida. I love it. So she's warmer than I am. So she got to come back warm. I got to come back to some serious cold. So we've been speaking with Mary Brookins from Florida, and Mary is a wealth strategist. She's also a health strategist, brilliant entrepreneur, retired military nurse, and a total heart of service. And we've been talking about her experience at the Fab and Fulfilled retreat and what it means for her to be fit, to find her fabulous and begin to live or continue to live a deeply fulfilled life. Yes. So thank you all for joining us. Mary, thank you for just who you are and your contribution. And I'm really looking forward to watching what occurs over the next few months, because I know you came out of the retreat with some ideas and a new energy and a new excitement and great connections. I think that was the other beautiful thing about the event was some really great connections. So thank you for your time.
It was an honor. Thank you for the invite.
My pleasure, hon. We will continue to talk.
Absolutely. You have a beautiful day.
Everyone, have a beautiful day. Now, before I sign off, if you want to learn more about the Fit, Fab, and Fulfilled retreat, if you want to be part of our health and wellness challenge, just type challenge, yes, challenge in the comment section, and we might send you some nice gifts, and you'll be able to learn a little bit more about what we're doing, the commitment that I have to health and wealth, and that's why I'm surrounding myself with beautiful people like Mary, who also have that understanding of the importance of health and wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and how managing both can really uh, create a shift in your life and lay a foundation. If you want to be part of our morning rituals and routines, I know we had a bunch of people working out this morning and having a great time. Put challenge in the comment section, and we'll tell you how you can join our challenge. So, Mary, once again, thank you very much, and I will be talking to you guys next week.
Goodbye. Thank you, Suzanne.
My pleasure, hon.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye bye.